To anyone joining this soon or watching this at a later moment, welcome again to another of one of my streams. Here Vagar or Renee. Right now preparing for a third session of Factorio. This is almost a clean vanilla save, but not fully. There are some quality of life mods and decorio, whatever it might be. Does actually have a specific, whatever. I was thinking, well, this is the active mod list. Night brightness I have disabled, but it's very dark. Decorio even more light. Factorio library, Lightorio and milestones. And I was thinking of adding something like a notepad as well as a calculator. So far the plan is to only have things that are quality of life, also known as QOL. Speaking of, I should probably add that to the stream tags in odd. It should show up. I am not seeing in not seeing the stream on YouTube myself, which is something that I would prefer. Should be there as Factorio Session 3. This might throw out some problem. Nah, it shouldn't be that specific. Ah, I'm seeing myself. Yeah, it changed on YouTube to Session 3. Which is absolutely perfect. Although I can't find the stream itself in YouTube Studio, which is interesting. But luckily it's not completely necessary. Thank you, Little Gaming Ghost, for the support, for being there for me. I also added a small extra sound filter, a compressor, in the hope that my voice would be less metallic, and that should, I hope, solve most of the issues that I and the people listening have experienced. And as such, I'll just get started now because my focus for this usually is only like 2 hours, which is why my streams are that long. Right, iron ore, coal, time to go. Do I have some fuel on me? Yes, I do. Basic tech. Basic tech is completely going out of production. As is my first few research stations. For now, I think only 100 of those. Ammo will need eventually. Smelters we now have quite a few of. I'll just start producing more. And I will be using the this as a base for a steel smelting column, which is not at all alike to the iron smelting or other smelting columns, as it has double smelting setups, which is a massive pain. But hey, it gives you steel, and that's kind of the whole deal that we're going for this session, especially early on, because I would mostly just want to have that set up. This, unlike what you might think, only has 1/5 of a belt of steel. Right. I'm doing both sides and I didn't even need to. And I can't expand this way, so. Right. We have one part. And this will remain as is. This one side. But the next bit will not. As you need 2 steps of smelting before reaching your eventual destination. I have the feeling that I'm off. 23. Why? Oh wow, it didn't copy all of them. Alright, I don't need to edit that, but in the long run, that is luckily a smaller issue. Oh, it's a big issue. It's a pain in the you know where. But it is not the end of the world, and it is even far from it. Does this have plenty? Um, Alright, fixed up a little annoyance. Speaking of little annoyances, this should be a solution, or rather the solution for a problem that should be over sometime soon. The amount of ammo that we in fact have, this can just be much lower priority. This is capped. So onwards to actually producing steel. In ancient times known as the King of Metals, even though it is not a singular metal, but a set of metals. And this is why steel is different. Oh, not the only reason, obviously, but it is definitely one of the reasons. How many belts? There we go. 1K belts. I hope to see the day where I can not be within a belt shortage. Let's see. Right. As you can see, we'll first have the smelter smelting iron, then go for the next step, which is steel. For now, this is just all planning. steel will eventually end up here. And this will end up here, where this little bit will be replaced by that. Yeah, whatever. Once we have bots, that will solve itself. Luckily enough, at least. Right. Power poles. Always more power poles. I believe if I had medium power poles, I could use 3 sets rather than 4 sets. But that is a wish for the future, and at this moment we know nothing of that technology. Despite power poles being almost immediately after steel. We are not yet after steel, we are, well, at. In an ideal belt situation, or an ideal bus situation, you would even have right. You can see why steel is a whole different beast. And maybe even if you've played some more, you already know or see now why right. Everything for steel production is now set up. Oh, skipped one, as often is the case. I'll be plugging this in. As well as starting with the coal later, I suppose. Although, right now we don't yet need more coal. There's nothing wrong with needing coal. It's a constant struggle to have all the power you need. Oh, that's false. It's pretty doable in this game to actually have your power needs met. Or to meet your own power needs. Maybe I should have turned on the lights. In my room, that is. As you can see, steel takes ages. As 5 iron turns into 1 steel, and the crafting time is roughly equivalent to one another. Did I have that? I was going to set that one as steel. How am I going to route this? I'll route this around. And do some cleanup. Okay. And with this done, I'll figure out a way to push this to the right spot. I'll just show the straight line. See where the coal is. Don't cross the lines. And connect it up. Huzzah, we now have a singular belt of steel. As soon as all of that's done, might want to actually, yeah, as is, I'll start producing my, start upgrading my production of, dear Lord, I am derping out today. As well as rerouting this to have a priority output on the right side. This will slow down all of my production potentially for a second or 10. And this is, for now, enough walls, and by the time that I need walls, I will regret this decision immensely. However, for now, it is a plenty amount of walls. Now then. The first little bit is done. This is my starter factory, which is always something to see. Yeah. I will need more belts. I'll need plenty more belts. But for now, I'll just enjoy the fact that I have all of these things which I would otherwise still need. Nice. Alright, yeah. Get all of that. I have plenty, I think. Whatever. Yeah. Put one stack in there. Some in there. Right, that's a mod. A quality of life mod, which I've been forgetting. Well, forgetting that I want more than anything else, but right, belt balancer, or rather belt filler. This will loop all of the copper I need along these lines. Particularly useful if one of these loops is technically useless because in an ideal situation you're using 100% of your resources, but unless it's mid or late game tech, it's never this case that you're using the 100%. For the sake of, I'll also add in a single, yeah. I'll eventually probably add a few more for iron. Sniffing lines of metal to start my emporium. I think I'll go with 2. Mirror this setup on the other side somehow. And end up with also, this is a 3 into 1. You'll see that there are 3 splitters. Yeah, 3 splitters. And despite all of the things, you are busy with balancing everything out. So technically, starting there, these two are going to be green belts. Green belts take 1.5 and 2.5, which means that eventually these 3 copper belts and these 2 iron belts are going to be Elgano. And that means that only one of the copper belts is going to be output here. For now, however, I'm going to split the belt and take from it in a little bit. Alright, speaking of, I need to copy this. And put it in here. Caps lock is on. And named and saved. Huzzah. And right. I'm just going to put this here. I'll put these one further just for the sake of. And yes, there are most definitely better ways to do this, go about this, but it is not my headache to use them. This thing you wanted. And yes, it is probably badly balanced and all that stuff. And someone, somewhere in the future, is going to comment on it and tell me how much of a horrible person I am for building it this way. And that's fine. That's part of the love and community that we have here with Factorio. And I hope that that community sometimes will reach other people elsewhere. I still need to maybe set up my Steam in streaming mode where people can't actually see whoever I'm streaming with, to protect or playing with, or have on my friends list to protect them from future people who wish to do mean things. It might be far from necessary, but it's still something that makes people feel more secure. Either myself or the people close to me. Even if in the end no one wishes to do me harm or be a nasty person, it's still something that makes me feel safe, makes them feel safe. And for now, all of these steps, starting with the belts and everything, it seems very big, or at least to me still. Whereas once I manage to get to late game, everything here will seem small. This is also a Oppo temporary setup where I am taking my copper line and my steel line and bringing them this way. Although these three are not going to exist. So eventually this will be the final setup. And as you can see, I've finally got some things going for me. Theoretically, I should be able to download a mall blueprint from the internet and just use it and use those inputs. And in the past I have, but in all honesty, that typically leaves me completely lost, and I would prefer to just build my own thing, even if it is less efficient. Let's see. What things do I want out of this entire setup? Let's see. I want one with gears and one that gives me red science. I want... red science. I want one that brings me that. I want one that makes me that. These require iron. Right. Let's see this, because no. This goes here, and we'll go in there, there, and there. And this will be partially one and partially another. Right, this will go that way, this will go that way. I do honestly prefer this over some other things in either one specific mod. There's right, first issue up right now, which is funny since, you know, I've only just started. We need a mix-up. Right. These will... Right. This will sort itself or not. This, speaking of, I'll just manually grab this, manually clean this up. Right. Right. Considering everything, this will be the easiest way of doing this. Typically you make gears on location because they craft really fast. You could make a gear belt on your bus. Typically it's not done, or at least not that I have seen in other people's Let's Plays and watch me play and all that jazz. And I've considered doing it, but I never really got that far. And as such, I am not doing it. Great. Ghost power cables. And these two will then... Oh, great. Oh. Lead into green science. And there will be one green science on each side. For now, I think it would be a good idea to just have a teensy amount of green science, and well, both sciences come in. And now we have science production up and running. And this will not be a lot. This will not even be enough to run 2 labs full time most of the time. But it is enough to make a start to this whole thing and start just doing the actual research. And for now, this is just one little bit. This is not going to be a specialized thing. This is really a secondary starter setup. One where I can actually slowly build toward being sustainable, expandable. Well, sustainable is nothing in this game is sustainable. Interestingly enough, for now I will just build a little power line south, then build a little power line east, clear out the biker base. Okay, and right. And with this in hand, I will walk my way closer and closer towards something's ultimate doom, or not going to be me. This is one thing which I experience as very irritating and all that jazz. I need to explore so much. Give me a sec. Snacks incoming, yay! And again, the same rhythm for taking care of a biter base. You set up a front line and build that front line forward. Considering everything is still quite out of range and out of reach for the spitters, for the worms, I'll keep this set up, and then as soon as I need to get closer, how close do I need to be? Can I do this from here? Oh snap. Let's see the damages. Damages are proceeding as per usual and are being repaired as usual. And slowly but surely the world will be a better place. A safer place with more space for the factory. This is a medium-sized. Technically it's a large-sized. Oof. I am now seeing a problem. Or something that will be a problem. This is a biter base. It is up on the edge of the water, as is this one. And I have no idea where it will land, which effectively means that I am in trouble. Not now, but in the future I am in trouble. But for now, snack break. And with snack break, I mean I'm trying to unpack something with only one hand while I continue to try and walk. Which is clearly not going, so pause time and unpacking a house brand ice cream. Or local brand. Correct. While exploring, I personally prefer having a grid of radars to see where I am, what's going on, and all that jazz. And because it gives me some oversight and some an overview, so that hopefully there is no oversight on my end of one thing or the next. Ideally, everything will go right, but you know, you never know. Luckily, I'm not playing on a death world. Death worlds are a pain in the, because there are biters, well, just about everywhere. And a death roll really is hard. There's so many biters, so much pain and suffering in the world. And because of that, everything you build needs to be protected. You probably won't even be able to actually finish your starter base without calling a horde of biters your own way. Right. Radar coverage is increasing. Let's see. Can I place a ghost in the fog of war? Obviously, there should have been a warning for ASMR eating of ice cream with all the crunch, and a trigger warning for people who see me chewing on ice cream. Because obviously I'm crazy like that. Also, I'll start making, after collecting my next set of belts and splitters and all that stuff. I'll also make an extra chest to store all the wood that I'm breaking up. Um, I'm still amazed at how little iron is still coming from here. What does it actually say about the coal supply? Coal supply is 300k. So next up we have some gears. Gears, inserters. Speaking of, we want those slightly further away. Gears, inserters, long inserters with their own. They share the same gear. Then fast inserters with electronics and filter inserters with electronics. This will take those from there. Going under. And this one goes there, this one goes there, this one goes there. Everything else is direct production. Although I do want 100 of everything else to be output. 200 uncapped, 100, and hook everything up. Alright, that's those. Might have made a mistake. You know what? Fixable mistake. Gears are slow enough as is. Which also means that probably every single one of these gears can I use a fast inserter to make them. This also needs iron. Oh, oops. And yes, eventually splitting this will end up continuously splitting this will end up in disaster. But alright. One step which I still needed to add. Production steps. Interestingly enough, it is now being set. considering that that I myself see people in the chat in the thing. I might want to enable something like a streamer mode where people don't see my Steam friend. On the other hand, I'm not going to deal with that right now. What was the next thing which I wanted again? Could make an electrical set, but nah. I think a faster crafter for these things, but a faster tech crafter, but yeah. I suppose making more labs and all that jazz is a better option. So I want to know. Hmm. Oh, nice. A milestone set. I do understand this. Hmm. Yeah, that's an achievement or a milestone worth going for. Let's see. Calculator. We want 6 seconds for those, 5 seconds for those. For now, I'll just decide to go make that I want 6 of these. Shift right to set, shift left to unset. They take 1 each. I'll just set this, turn this off for now. And put these two on a belt. What's the crafting speed? These are 2.5 seconds. This is 1.5 seconds. This should already be enough to go for 1 per second. isn't actually fast enough for that just yet. Let's see, that should fix that. Then, five. Okay, that's that. Same deal on the other side. Let's see. As I somewhat expected, biters are now advancing. Considering I'm feeling like I'm half the map away, I'm, well, somewhat panicking. It's not bad. Oh no, more being damaged. This also means that I'm going to place some more gun turrets within my base. How interesting to see that it is a single biter. And how ridiculously in the center of my base this is. To the point of where I keep wondering how the heck did it avoid everything to get there. And honestly, I have no clue. And even more honestly, I don't even want to know how it avoided everything. I want to know how to solve it. And considering as that little bit got destroyed, I'll be going to replace it and surround it with some turrets, a small opening, and to let them in fact. Yes, to let them in. Might sound crazy, might be crazy, I don't really care. This is this. And our teensy little trap. And I do actually want the biters to pass, so this is a teensy tiny little biter trap. I'm assuming that they came this way around, although they could potentially have come from here, considering that I didn't, I activated the copper mines again, and as of right now, have not cleared a biter camp that is there, which I know is there. And is this a solid wall? Probably will be a solid wall in the end. Oh wow, yay. I can actually pass. Also, are there still any trees here? No. I was hoping to be able to show the effect of long-term pollution on plants, but I'm also certain that in the end I will be able to show that, because this save will go on for quite a while. Especially once I've actually set up all the basics. And have tier 2 or is it? Blue research and blue and gray research also set up. Alright. I did a little bit of a derp. I should have set these up further, but you can't win them all, and making mistakes is only human. And to avoid mistake, we built a factory. And we have cleared yet another biter camp. Safety will reign. The future is now. Peace shall be among us. Oh nice. This actually is a almost perfect fit for our radar system. While it does not match up perfectly, it will match up sort of perfectly. And in case you haven't noticed, Factorio all is about seemingly overproducing and then seemingly having underproduced. Right now we have full radar coverage of our entire system. This is the next threat if these going around the left isn't. But as this is a small camp, I'll just clear those out. Stupidly enough, I don't have the feeling like I've done a lot today, but well, probably I suppose I have not done a lot. Not a lot. I guess my next step will be getting advanced material processing set up or researched. Make some labs. Okay, how many labs do we have? We have this many labs. And yes, this many is a completely valid amount, even if it isn't. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. As I said, I should have started this line up before doing other stuff. Is it valid? How much time does one research cost? It costs 30 seconds for one research. I probably should not have powered this, but oh well. One, two, three. Check. And with this, it should all be somewhat running, or just be somewhat under. Either way, it'll keep running. These will produce plenty, these will produce enough. Everything is actually doing something, even if it doesn't seem like a lot. Tech is researching. Tech doing the tech thing is something, and keeping that going is something that you need to get into a habit of. Your first priority in the end is always going to be do tech. Do tech. Do tech. Repeat ad infinitum. And no, it will not go fast. No, it will not go smooth unless you have a lot, and I mean a lot of experience playing, and I mean with a lot, I mean thousands of hours, if not thousands upon thousands of hours, where you figure out all of the steps you need to do and know most of the game by heart and start doing the speedrun challenges. And even then, that only counts for when you play a certain version for a long time. The engine and then the automobilism. And the engine is one of my next goals. Or the automobile. Why? Because things like driving this area, this run, are just no longer a big deal. Let's see, what do we see here? We see that we are not close enough. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4 small worms. Worms are wait at this next little wave of biters, and then go straight into the center. As mentioned before, the area of effect that sticks is a pain. Now, I'll probably landfill this entire lake eventually, knowing myself, to have a flat area to work with. But to be honest, I'll only be happy with that. Again, safety at last, safety at last. Still only small worms, small biters. Nothing big, nothing grand. Only these. Which means that, oh, speaking of, I'll just upgrade my radar system. Extend it to, I think, somewhere here on the left. Further left, further left, further up. As you may have noticed if you've been watching, I enjoy having my entire area covered with radars to actually see what is going on. Engine, oh, logistics too. Fast belts, fast underground belts, and fast splitters. Realistically, the first upgrade of your belts. These are dragon's teeth, and they supposedly work against biter pathfinding, because walls also have low priority attack targets, or low priority attack targets, and if they find a way around, they will, but not to the point that they will smash themselves upon your walls. I am also thinking that half an hour to an hour from now, shutting down is a valid option. I think my stream has been going on for roughly 2 hours, which is personally a bit my limit. Not an absolute limit, it's more of a, this is how I experience it, this is how I feel it. And it keeps me just having shorter sessions of this game. Eventually I'll do better if it's earlier on in the day, but who knows? And if you may have noticed, I am making walking paths through all of the woods, or at least the ones that I intend to wade through. Oh, a biter horde, so to speak. They've passed this thing, and they're probably headed for that one. And I will reach out and go up to intercept them. This might actually be a very good little distraction site. And yes, I need to have 100 in. That is a personal preference. Well, it is more than just a personal preference. It is enjoying round numbers. And again, Dragon's Teeth. Let's see. Yeah. Right. Some more Dragon's Teeth. Right. Dragon's Teeth set up. Minimalistic Dragon's Teeth. Power poles also have a very, very low priority, and that has to do with the fact that I can't remember. I thought spitters have higher priority than biters for those, but that might be something which someone speculated or was convinced of, but had no valid evidence for. Proceeding. Now apparently I created 1,000 automation science packs so far. But right. Belts. Belts, 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 belts. Gears. Belts. Belts. How long is this race going to take? 200. Right, scaling up. That was also a thing which surprised me early on when starting to play this. Things scaled up really fast, and I mean really, really fast. Where initially you think, I'll be fine. No, you will not be fine. Right now I have 1 per second, no, 1 every 2 seconds due to the crafting speed, but as soon as these are the second tier automation number 2 ones, those are 1 per second. Same for everything here. And automobile. And the interesting thing about this automobile is it is solid fuel powered. Technically every single car or machine or whatnot here in this game is solid fuel powered, but they also try to act as though they are fuel pack powered. Making an entirely different situation of everything. Let's see. Right now. As I have new. Alright, that was the entire gimmick. Right. Yeah, screw this. I'm going to redo this entirely, which is also part of this entire game. Deciding, nope, I screwed up. I'm going to try again, but this time do it better. In fact, that is a large part of this game. Deciding that you screwed up and doing everything all over. Okay, we have the gear, we have the regular belt, we have the underground belt, and we have the underground belt, and we have the splitter. And proceeding. We have the red belt, we have the underground red belt, and we have the red splitter. Each of which are made out of the last one, and both of these requiring tons of gears. These are iron. And in fact, I am thinking that as soon as I've finished this set, this mix and match, 200, 1200, 100, 100, 200, 200. And this is fruit of my labors. Even if it doesn't seem that way initially. Right. Check, check, check. These iron belts. These were iron to. Yep. These were iron to. Nope. Iron. No iron. Okay. This one will go there, and then that everything should be fine. There. This is dangerous. Don't forget to, in your intermediary chests, always put a cap. Always, always, always put a cap. Or limiter, or whatever you want to call it. Now this one uses gears. I forgot what the trick here was. I think it was just running a belt of gears this way for any spares, as well as this way around. Which would mean that you get this here. And unlike what you might expect, this is oh nice, the automobile is done. Whatever. This one does not require them. Interesting. Alright. For a mall, which this entire structure will be, with the exception of my research, you typically want to make a dedicated intermediary production area at the very start, and the most used intermediary products are gears, as each 2 iron makes 1 gear, and you make 1 per second even with level 1 crafters. And the other is, as you can see here, pipes. And the final one is engines. That is the final intermediary. And engines are crafted slowly. But for now, I don't care. This one will be making pipes. And this one will make engines, and this one will make gears. Nope, wrong one. Gears, as well as grabbing from this belt. And 2 sets of crafters. And I believe it's best to actually have a setup where you where you make a line of gears and stuff, and leave most of those into 2 of these. Can't even remember if it was. I could do the calculation. Do you have a notepad? I thought I downloaded a notepad mod, but well. These are. I'm actually very happy with the little bases. Military 2 has grenades and leads to military science. Cool. Oh, less than 300k. And you might want to actually start on this coal depot. And as soon as everything is starting to get finished, does this? Can I make this with hand? By hand? No. Um. Anyway, basic gates. Also, right. Engines actually need to be made in one of them crafters. Whereas automobiles do not. Interesting. Again, interestingly enough. Slowly but surely, I'll just get this set up. Even if it's not important now, having it set up for the future is always nice. Even if I eventually decide not to use it, it's still a nice little thing. And as you may or may not have guessed, noticed, thought, I forgot what I wanted to say. Speaking of, I should probably set these up to do their thing, but first I need to finish replacing all of these, or redoing all of these. Speaking of, engine units are set. And now I can actually make myself a car. An automobile. Well. Oh dear lord, I have forgotten how fast this feels the moment you get it, and later how slow it feels if you need to reach somewhere that is in fact very far away. Enter or exit the vehicle, and apparently this little mining setup, this starter mine, is empty as can be. And with that, so is my production in this cute little starter base. Which, as it is not yet been made redundant, still required. What was it again? Right. You would take half on either side. I'll just set up a second line going around the south, not giving a single flying flippity flip. this should make it so nothing gets really stuck. Right. I think these take at the moment 1k every... Oh dear, oh my, oh dear, oh my. We are once again out of stuff. And with that also, I'm going to look at some other things for a second while this crafts. Right. Let's see. This is little mistakes. Little mistakes. Rookie mistakes, that too. But each and every time it just feels like I did an oops. And sometimes a big oops, sometimes a small oops. And alternatively, I'll be adding in some here and some more. And I'll repeat this once more. Right down, right on, right on. And with this, the first step of getting a power supply is done. I'm not certain anymore if this is enough water, but water is can be made redundant and can very easily be made redundant. And should probably have some redundancies. Just like water. Production is capped. No input fluid. Oh, right. That's just stupid on my end. But hey, such is life. We all make stupid mistakes all the time. And it will be forgiven eventually. Oops. Just like this. Forgiven, forgotten, forgiven, forgotten. Oopsie daisy. My power demand or production capacity should have been increased by teensy tiny bits. I do fondly remember a specific mod where I could, as long as I had enough land, produce free non-solar power. Or renewable non-solar power. Whatever. That's now, where did I leave my automobile? I left my automobile there. You can't see it on the mini map, but you can see it on the big mini map. It's a red and white triangle. And while zoomed in out completely, they are quite easy to miss. As soon as you zoom in some more, they get a lot more obvious. And for now, I suppose getting myself set up for the next thing, where I hopefully, at least I plan to get busy. I will pack some or a lot of my stuff in my car. And most of the things that are not in my car will be in my pocket. Also, I suck at driving in this game. I should not be anyone's driver in this game ever. It is not a healthy situation. It is not a healthy choice. As I will drive over your toes, most definitely. Engines are checked. Right. For now, this will be the factory as is. And I wish you all a good day, night, evening. The typical please like and subscribe jazz. Maybe even find a nice glass of something to drink for yourself. Stay hydrated and all that stuff. And please have a nice day. Have a good one. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching and goodbye.